Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in Crafting. Today we're going to make a couple of Peep Easter cards. Yes, Peeps. I love Peeps. It's a two-sided coin, Peeps are. You either love them or you hate them, and I love them, especially stale. I leave those puppies out until they get nice and stale. So we have Peep Show from Trinity Stamps. I believe that's what it's called. And I also have the one from Paper Tray Ink, which is called, I think it's called Best Bunnies. And it's basically the same thing, Peeps. The difference is the Paper Tray Ink one has like a shadow on the Peeps. So I wanted to try each of them out. So for the first card, we're going to use the Trinity Stamps Peeps. And first I'm stamping the outline, and I'm going to cover the whole, this is the A2 size panel. And I believe I trimmed it down to be 4 by 5 1/4, so it would have a nice frame around it. And I'm not going to show you every single one here. Just wanted to show you where I stamped them. We're going to go through and use different colored inks to give them different colors. Now I tried to stick with, aside from this panel, I tried to stick with colors of actual Peeps, although nowadays those colors really could vary because they've got all kinds. Birthday cake, root beer. I mean, if you could think of a strange flavor, Peeps probably have them out. Am I right or am I right? I have to say I haven't tried very many of those flavors because I'm a original Peep type of girl. So here we go. I have cummerbund, 16 candles, pucker up, garden party, chiffon, orange twist, and party dress. Those are the colors I used on this card panel. But once I get to, that's going to have Peeps as the focal point as well, and I stick to the original colors for that. So yes, as I was saying, I'm an original Peep type of girl. I think I've tried the root beer float ones, which were pretty good. I absolutely refuse to try birthday cake. I don't eat anything that's flavored birthday cake unless it's birthday cake itself. Not the ice cream, nothing. I just think birthday cake should not be repeated in other objects or other foods. It's like vanilla. I love a good regular vanilla bean ice cream, not French vanilla, but vanilla bean. But I don't like the smell of vanilla. Vanilla candles, vanilla room spray, none of it. I cannot, especially if it's Bath and Body related. I don't want to smell like a food. It's just a pet peeve I have. So there's my background there. We also have the cute little eyes and nose. Added those on as well. And now we're going to stamp out with the Paper Tray Ink bunnies our focal points for this card. So as you can see along the side, right side of the bunny, the big and the small one, there's like shadows. A shadow line, so we'll fill that in as well. There's a separate stamp for those, actually 2 separate stamps, because there's a little shadow on the left ear as well. And I ended up stamping all these in the Easter eggs, and we only use the big bunnies and the solid Easter shells, the ones that look broken in half. Here we go. So light colored and then dark shadow. That's what I have up there. And I will list all the inks in the description box below. I know I didn't put them on the screen this time, but I made sure I had them all out for you guys to see. Anyway, I ended up coloring all these in the Easter eggs, well, stamping the color in for the bunnies. And all the ones I did not use ended up going in a little baggie, because now Jackson likes to make cards. So whenever he wants to make a card, he knows what that little Ziploc baggie of colored images is. And he goes in and grabs it and makes cards out of my already colored images that I had extra of. It actually warms my heart to see both my younger children making cards. Anyway, back to the card. And not like we've talked much about it today. This one has little eyes as well, but not the nose. They look cute either way, though. I've noticed they look cute either way, whether you've got the eyes and the nose or just the nose. And actually it does have the nose, I think. It's just very small. smaller than the eyes. So now I'm going to take the half of an eggshell, stamp that out in the colors of the Peeps as well. Now there are pink Peeps as well, but I stuck with the light purple, the yellow, and the blue for this card. And I'm going to glue each Peep into an eggshell. They just barely fit. I think I actually had to trim a little circle off one of them because you could see it just peeking out from the bottom of the eggshell. And then that stamp set also has a bow, so I stamped out the bow in the same 3 colors and then alternated the colors, making sure they were on a different colored eggshell. Now we're going to glue our panel to our card base, top folding I believe it was. And as you can see, I stamped out all the Trinity stamp sentiments, and I have the die set for this stamp set, so it was nice because I love the dies that cut right around the sentiments. So I made sure I stamped all of them, even if I don't use them all. And I can't remember which one I used on the front, but I guess we'll find out in a minute. I can never remember, you guys. And I have to say, I'm still feeling good and haven't gotten sick at all. I have made so many cards since January started, and now we're into March, that I actually hit a creative block. And just because I had used my brain so much, and I have a video coming up about that soon as well, about how to get rid of your creative block. So stay tuned for that. On the inside, we're going to put our other sentiment, our inside sentiment, which says, Happy Easter. I believe it says, from your Peeps. Now I have a vellum scallop circle that we're going to place all of our bunnies on. And I cut out like 3 layers of solid color bunnies as well from the other stamp set because they fit nicely behind the paper tray bunnies, just for some added dimension behind the vellum, so it lifts the vellum up off of the card base. And then I put the 3rd layer onto the bunny directly because that one's going to be popped up in front of the other 2 bunnies. So we didn't need to add any extra layers there. And then it did sink down a little bit in the front, so I stuffed a little piece of foam tape underneath that eggshell in the front. But I don't believe that's on camera. Just to balance out the lift of everything. There you go. You're one of my favorite Peeps, and on the inside it says squishy hugs. Happy Easter. Now we're going to work on a slimline card. Same thing, Peeps, but this time we're going to concentrate on the Trinity stamp Peeps. These ones have an added special touch here. First, I'm using this slimline cloud die, or stencil. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. I believe this one's from MFT, and just use some ink to ink up some clouds there. And now I'm going to use my slimline, I think it's Grassy Hills dies from Dynamics from MFT. And we're going to lay out some grass here, 2 layers. So I'm just trying to place where I want the grass to land for the highest layer, and then for the front layer. Now I'm not going to pop the grass up. I do leave space behind it in case I want to tuck anything in there, but I don't end up tucking anything in there. Now I'm going to draw a line so I know where to trim that. And we're just going to put the glue above the line and then place our card panel back on there. And once it dries, we'll trim off all that excess. Now the slimline card measures a final of 4 by 8.5. So my front panel is more than likely 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. I like the mats with just a 1/4 inch space total. So, well, I guess it would be an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. There's my second layer of grass. And now we're going to start putting our Peeps together. Face layer on top of solid layer. They all have black solid layers. That way you can see their eyes and nose when you place them onto their solid layer, because the die pokes their holes out, or their eyes and nose out when you cut them out. And we have the traditional Peep colors, yellow, pink, blue, and purple for this one. So I was able to squeeze the pink in there as well this time. And then I'm going to use my sparkle embossing ink and the Judykins sparkling embossing powder, I believe it's called, so that it looks like my Peeps are covered in sugar. And I think they turned out really cool. I love the way they look. And after it's all said and done, and we have all the Peeps covered in sugar, we're going to start placing them on our card panel. And I'm not going to try to make them like super straight or anything. I'm just going to have them like kind of looking like they're bouncing back and forth. I think that's a safe way to go. I never like putting things perfectly straight on a card unless I absolutely have to, or it looks better with the design, because I'm really bad at it, keeping it straight. I found a sun for my MFT Dynamics. I'm going to add that up in the corner there. I just thought my Peeps deserved a little sunshine. And there's the placement of all the Peeps, and we're going to start adhering them to the card. And I did notice as well that once I started putting the embossing powder onto the bunnies, the Peeps, you couldn't see their eyes and nose as well. It was like the embossing powder reflection kind of drew you away from their eyes. So I took my black glaze pen, Jelly Roll glaze pen, and just put a little bit of ink in each of the holes for the noses and the eyes. And that really did bring their eyes back out nice and shiny. Now we're going to add that onto a black card base and add our sentiments. We've had one day of nice weather in the past week and a half. It's been cold. It snowed, guys. It's the end of March and it was snowing. This one says a little Easter treat from your Peeps. So we'll put from your Peeps on the inside. And that's it for this card. I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you liked today's video. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't subscribed yet. And it will notify you of all my upcoming videos. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye for now.